Praise be to Jesus. Hello, everyone. I have something written out here, and I'd like to read it to you. And I hope you stay with me. It's not really very long. So let me start. This channel is a bit over 1 year old, and in this time, I have read and commented on many remarks that range from a person showing a complete lack of knowledge concerning the fundamental beliefs of Catholicism and the ministry of the papacy to believing Pope Francis is destroying the deposit of faith handed down to us from the time of the apostles. Who among us is God's perfect depository of his truth? None of us. We all have errors. Each of us should be concerned with learning the truth of how God views this papacy and not just believe what we want because we like it or are comfortable with it. To do this, one must guard against pride in the attitude that I know the truth and adopt an attitude of, do I know the truth? And in this way, open yourself to the corrections of the Holy Spirit. Anyone who persists in holding on to seriously erring beliefs put their salvation in jeopardy. It does you no good to believe untruth. You first need to decide if you really want to learn God's truth and then pray every day to receive it. If you don't pray for it, you are not showing God through your actions that you mean what you said, that you want him to teach you his complete truth. We all must persevere in begging God to teach us his truth. We cannot care what any human thinks is the truth, and that includes Pope Francis. There are those of you who believe he always speaks for God via the Holy Spirit, and there are those of you who believe he does not, that he doesn't care what the Holy Spirit is saying because he wants to remake Catholicism in his own vision. Either the 2,000-year-old deposit of faith is wrong or Pope Francis is wrong. It can't be both ways, since a belief system cannot contradict itself. There can't be two truths concerning the same issue. For 2,000 years, the Catholic Church has taught that remarriage is adultery, based on what Jesus said in three of the Gospels. Now, what Jesus said is being questioned. Is that exactly what he really meant? Others say the law of love supersedes what he said about remarriage. Others believe that in their particular circumstances, Jesus is calling them to the Eucharistic feast out of love, with any correction Jesus wants to make coming later. Others believe all this is nonsense and it is the work of Satan. The fact that something is very wrong with the church can be seen in its division, its confusion, and its uncertainty. Some will say these are just growing pains, and others will say they are the fruits of a demonic spirit in the papacy and the Vatican. If you want to spend eternity in heaven, then you need to know, propagate, and live the truth of who Christ is. There is no other way. So let me quickly review my thoughts. What is the truth? We cannot know this without God revealing it to us. First, we must want to know the truth. If you don't want to know the truth, then you'll never have the truth. 2, we must disarm ourselves of our pride. 3, We must pray every day for the truth, for without a foundation in prayer, we stand no chance of knowing the truth. There are no shortcuts. 4. We must accept the truth whether we like it or not, when we are absolutely certain God has revealed it to us. An example of this is purgatory. I mean, who really wants to believe that there is purgatory? But Catholics do believe that. They accept that as truth, even though they don't like it. So this is very much the same thing. You may not like what the truth is, but if you keep on praying and really show God that you really want to know the truth, then when He reveals it, you will just know. You will just know for sure that God is revealing to you the truth. And then it's up to you to accept it or not. And hopefully you will. Those who, be it through willful ignorance or error, reject the truth will very likely spend eternity in hell. You have chosen to reject the truth, that being the person of Jesus Christ. And some people may think this is a really harsh thing I've written here, but I believe what I have written is, first of all, it's my own opinion. There are my own thoughts. There might be error in what I've written. You see, we always need to be aware of being in error, because the enemy is always trying to lead you into error. I know I don't like thinking about the enemy. I really don't. But I'm fortunate enough to be pretty aware, but I still get tricked. But, I pray a lot, and so I get heaven's help in recognizing that the enemy is trying to trick me. So really, I can't stress enough how important the foundation of prayer is. A lot of you work, and when you come home, you want to relax and take it easy and do whatever. But really, you really need to decide what's important here. If relaxing is more important than prayer time, which is the fundamental basis of where God is going to reveal to you truth. If it's more, if depending on what's more important to you, either you're going to spend the time, in a way that's going to benefit you eternally, or you're going to spend your time on things that are just passing by. And everybody really needs to take this very seriously. We never know when we're going to die, and to think that we're going to have a long life is just something the enemy wants you to convince you of, because you don't know that. And so I hope you all take this very seriously. And it's a big deal, it's a big deal. And you need to make it, I believe everyone needs to make this a big, big deal. In fact, the biggest deal that it could possibly be. It needs to, in a way, consume you so that you really begin to focus your life around a life of prayer and putting prayer first. Because through prayer, God will reveal many, many things to you, and your life, He will literally change your life. And people through over 2,000 years in Christianity and Catholicism know this. They know that the fundamental part of being a Christian is really a life of prayer. And I just can't stress that enough. So that's all I have to say, and I'll look forward to the comments that you leave for me in the comments section.